Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse.
I'm Keegan Lastra, my man.
What's going on? You are so ugly with them glasses.
I'm not ugly, bro. Gotta wear them today.
Wait, hold on. I believe you said you aren't ugly.
I'm not ugly, dude.
Did you mean that?
I'm beautiful.
Okay,
everyone's
same
beautiful.
Same. Gibbs, you're not ugly either.
Not for last week. No, not at all.
For not pressing record? Come on, my guy. He did it this time. I can see the light over there. It's flashing red on air.
It's good. We gotta capture this. Because I'm not gonna wear these the whole time, but right now, just our future's too bright. I gotta wear some sunglasses, you know?
Yeah, obligatory shade statement. Our future's too bright.
No, we're almost on a year, dude.
Honestly, like, yeah, this is next episode will actually be our 52nd episode, so that's a year anniversary. But after that one, we're gonna start up some crazy stuff. Like we got big things coming, like, you know, new scenes, and
we're ditching technology. We're going Amish. It's pretty exciting stuff.
So then, like, there's no way to record this.
Oh, well, a little bit of it, you know, like Springer style.
Just dip our toe in it, you know. But yeah, we got new scenes coming. We got new equipment. We got I think we're gonna change the architecture of the podcast a little bit, but stay tuned for those details. But yeah, I mean, if we changed our topic, I was just talking about how ironic it is that we have this podcast for the love of video games and tech, but think about how much frustration tech and video games causes us on a daily basis.
Oh, for sure. It's like playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah. Like that, well, that's QA in general, just whack-a-mole, you know, pop up, fix it, pop up, or log it. I ain't fixing it. I'm just telling you shit's broke. But anyway, the fact that, like, every time we try to do these podcasts or like something around tech, like, there's just problems everywhere. And then eventually it builds up enough, and then we have a Taylor's upset episode or Keegan's upset episode.
So, I'm always upset, though.
I'm always angry. Are you just Hulk over there? Bruce Banner, actually?
Yeah, because I play Madden regularly. Like,
and I'm sorry, dude. Like, it pains me to see that you are stuck in that element. You're just perma stuck. Hard
locked because it got worse.
What do you mean? Oh, the game got worse. I thought you meant like your addiction got That's unfortunate.
Okay, so they fixed some of the major bugs on release that there was issues with. And then, so I get the update, things are going along. I decide to scramble as my QB, right? Now, their controls that they've had for the past 4 games.
Yeah.
When you're sprinting and you hit X for the dive, you actually dive. You have to let go of sprint and hit X, and then you'll slide, right?
Okay.
It makes sense. You can't, like, either way.
You can't slide while sprinting.
Yeah. So I get on today, and I'm playing as you would, and then I scramble.
As you shouldn't.
And then when you dive as a QB, you're more susceptible to fumble the ball, so that's why you slide. Now they've changed it, and, like, to my knowledge, I didn't see anything about it.
You didn't read the patch notes.
Why isn't my guy sliding? I'm letting go sprint. Why the fuck? And, like, I literally hung up on it, and then I Google it. And there's a whole Reddit thread where it's like, yeah, it was hidden in the patch notes. They changed the controller. Like, they changed the controls. So now they just
like
X.
Barely told anybody.
They put it in the patch notes. I'm not reading all of those. There's enough bugs as it is.
The average player does not read those. Like, I read patch notes for games that I'm really into, but, like, I know that the average player doesn't.
Well, I knew this game was hella broken, so I just figured it was just like, we fixed this. Not, we changed the control.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, that should be like frontline. Like, maybe did they tweet about it or something? Like, they gotta, like,
not that I've seen. So I'm still over here, you know, just getting screwed over by Madden still. So I'm not salty at all.
Yeah. There was a lot of pain in that last comment.
Oh my goodness.
I'm over here grinding The Witcher 3 though. Like, I'm already 3/4 the way through the main story. Like, last week I had 3 hours in from the last save, but let's just say I started at 0. I now have 40 hours. So I put in 37 hours, and
That's beefy.
I'm cranking, and I am loving it, to be honest. It's got its hiccups. It's a 5-year-old game. There's some bugs here and there, but like I'm really enjoying it, and I don't know, like after I beat the main story, I don't know if I want to continue doing DLC, like because I know the DLC is really good, or if I'm actually gonna hop over to Hades because I still haven't played that. We bought it live last episode, but I still haven't
Still
played
haven't
it
played it.
because I know if I hop over to that,
You won't
I'm
go
not
back.
coming back to The
Yeah.
Witcher. Just because like Hades is also really good, so it's gonna be addictive, and then I'm just gonna like fall off. So
Oh, I actually logged a full-on bug to their support channel for Madden on like an email.
oh, you went hard. All right,
Well, I
what'd
acted
you
like I
log?
was at work, dude. You know, I did the description.
Oh,
I did the I did a screen grab of the actual bug itself, got video footage,
because they're gonna be
gave
like,
him
it's not a bug, it's not a bug, and then you have to grab it in production,
Oh,
screen
I'm in
record.
prod. I am
I,
the prod.
I know. So it's like,
And
here's the bug.
I put repo steps and then so it's been a bug for like 3 games now. I've noticed
Mhm,
it for like the past couple games. Basically, when you finish a game, you know how like they have like hold A to skip or whatever
mhm.
to get past like the stupid cutscenes that are in sports games. We don't want them. Like we just want the fucking game. But when you finish the game, it pops up in the bottom right and like you'll hold it for like and then it just goes away. It goes right to the cutscenes you don't want to see and
Yeah,
doesn't give you the option to skip. So then you're stuck in this and you can't get out of it until you get to the final thing. And so it literally unskippable cutscene. But yet they give you the option and it like acts like it's about to and then it just disappears.
that's annoying. Like, how do they release that? Like, they really don't care at this point.
No. There's so many things wrong. They just slapped on a reskin roster and said, "Give me $60. What are you gonna do? You gonna play NBA this year? Pfft, fuck off."
You know what's funny too? Because I'm looking at our show notes we have here, and I didn't even realize that you threw this in last minute. It literally just says Madden got uglier. That's the show note. I love it. So yeah, it turns out time travel isn't bullshit. And you want to know why? Because a physics student proved it with math.
I
Don't really
mean,
know how that works, but
we when we say
he did it.
prove though,
We're talking about that theoretical bullshit math that I was really bad at in calculus. That anytime they're like, "Oh, prove this," it's like, I'd rather not. Like that sort of thing.
and like when you dive this article that came out, so basically the dude proved that it is possible for time travel, or how did he phrase it? It was like that a non-paradoxical time travel is possible where basically like what we talked about in our last time travel thing is basically where if you go back in time you screw up a the future you were on track for. But
Yeah.
what they're saying is that they're basically saying BioShock Infinite was right. They're saying
Yeah.
that no matter what little variables you change, you'll end up at the same fucking start.
And I love it, dude, because that's like one of my favorite games of all time. So when they told me that no matter when you go back and you try to change little like local variables around that area, it will always find a way to get back to it. And that was a whole theme of that game were constants and variables. So I was like, oh yeah, like you could flip the coin, it'll always be heads, but the way where you stand will be a little different. Like you could go try to go back and prevent COVID from happening, but like you're gonna catch it in the process instead of the original person. Like it's I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, what I like about the article was well, actually the article reading the dude's like theorem was painful. Like you start reading it thinking it makes sense and then a paragraph later you're like, "Nah,
And then you start
I
seeing
don't."
hieroglyphics. Like
Yeah.
if that's when you lost me. Cause like the article is just from IGN and they're just like explaining like how like this the layman's terms of it. Like he talked about like closed time circuits, so where like the time is like cyclical, it'll keep happening, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of understand that. But then they showed his actual like published paper, and then I knew going in, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get over my head a little bit. And then I
Just a
started
little
seeing
bit.
the theoretical math and all them symbols where like there's literally not a shred of like understandable math for me at this point. I was like, all right, we're done. Like, let me look at
I
the
just
charts
don't
and
get
see
how
stuff.
you can have like solid mathematics on a supposed like scenario in
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
Like it's all based on these, what were they, like CTCs, right?
yeah. Closed time
Where,
circuits.
and that you would be able to see your past self through these or whatever. And I'm like, but how did we discover these, or like how are we doing math around them? You know what I mean? It's,
Well, that's why I always
I
like
don't know.
this is a bit of a stretch, but this is why I always didn't care for that theoretical math because it was like we're talking about nothing but hypotheticals. Like I'm not actually plugging anything into this. Like we're talking about if this is possible, then this. Like I didn't care for that. And then like in this scenario, he's using two again theorems to like prove what he's talking about. And it was like Einstein's theory of relativity, and then there was another one that was supposedly conflicting with it, but was also a theory. And I was like, okay, so theories are not proven. They're
Yeah.
just like accepted until something disproves them. So like when they go and they say prove, it's like, well, you just made a theory and nobody's disproved it yet. So like, I don't know. Like once we get into these theoretical physics, math, like I start like, all right, hit me up when it's proven for real, you know? And like I always liked the conceptual physics because a lot of that stuff was either proven or like very likely like you can actually like throw a ball, you know, and like gravity happens. I still haven't seen myself show back up and say what up. The grandfather paradox has not been disproven to me because the dude came and said hello to me.
Not to your knowledge.
But like how would I not know? He didn't disprove that my memory was wiped, you know, like this is where like, okay, time travel might not be bullshit, but it's still bullshit. Wink, wink. Like,
Yeah, and I still am like not fucking with it. Like not just because some physicist was like, I'm pretty positive that this theory should work where it won't fuck your life up. And it's like, try it out.
but then you're over here with like, I'm gonna put a phone in my eyeball or my hand. What if your future self comes back and is like, Keegan, look at what you did to us. I'm a
And
robot
wait, are you
now.
saying, so you're saying if my future self came back and I was like cybernetic, and I'm like, what the fuck? In my head, you know what the first thing I would say? Fucking dope. It actually happens. Like I would, that's the first thought. I'm like, yes, we
But
got
like,
there.
he's literally coming to tell you that you messed up.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
That was where I was going with it. I wasn't
Oh,
like he came back to be like, "Yo, check me out. Like, look at
gives me a
my
high five.
site."
Like,
No, he's like, "Look at what you did to me.
and there's like
Don't
just
do
like
this."
infections and like pus coming out of my eyeball and shit.
You're gonna look like those dudes from Cyberpunk that have like the VR embedded in their face.
That's
Oh
another thing.
man.
I'm super excited for Cyberpunk because I maybe that game will come out and then like a bunch of scientists are like, maybe we should be working on this. Screw
Ah,
VR. Like, let's just go to cybernetics like right now.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is where all like it gets a little scary with the like AI, VR, cybernetics, robotics, time travel supposedly being true. Like if any of you viewers, listeners are like you pass calculus and physics, go check out this guy's paper. We'll have the link in the description and tell us if it makes sense because we were too stupid. Like it's been several years since I've had to even do anything remotely close to that. So you're just like, okay, I haven't used it in 6 years. Like, let's do it.
A bunch of like viewers, future selves is telling them, coming back and be like, hey, hit like, subscribe, and notification bell for this podcast. Don't ask questions. Just do it.
just do it. Oh my god, come to with me if you want to live, kind of
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
But I mean, while we're talking about cybernetics, Toyota created a robot that looks like GLaDOS from Portal.
For
Like,
real?
yeah, yeah. It's like it hangs from the ceiling and everything. And I think it's hilarious because like
Does it give you cake?
it goes in the kitchen.
Hey.
But like it's supposed to be like not a complete replacement for autonomous tasks, but like they say that if you have like a disability or like you're incapable of like, reaching high places or like lifting certain objects,
It
that it
just
can
shoots a
like
portal for that thing to come to you.
exactly. Yeah, that's right where I was going with it. We skip past generally just picking things up and we're like portals.
Yeah, we just put people in mazes now.
We've gone off the deep end. Time travel's real. Portals are happening. GLaDOS is real life. Like I can't even.
If that technology exists, that's gonna be messed up.
But Keegan, all that's real, but the cake is still a lie.
It's all cake.
Oh man. But I don't know, like this thing straight up looks similar to GLaDOS. It's just missing her like little lens thing and her
Yeah.
voice. But this is where like again, I'd be very excited if this thing could like just do the dishes for me. Cause like, screw dishes. Like that, I mean, that's what a dishwasher's for. But if I didn't even have to put the things in the dishwasher, like that,
Well,
if it cooked for me, yeah, like let's get it.
this
But
is how we get to iRobot status, dude. That's like the whole plot of iRobot.
yeah,
They became
see now
tools.
you're worried about that, but you're putting that in your body, my guy. What happens when that takes over?
My
And you
whole theory of why I would be comfortable with this, because by the time that technology is here, I'm at the don't give it a fuck stage. Like, I'm so old, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm on the way out, might as well put a fucking cell phone in my arm.
well, it could come sooner.
Well,
Is
then
there a
that's a
cutoff
different
for you?
story.
Is there a cutoff for you? Like, oh, if I'm past 40, then we're good.
Okay,
You
hold
think
on.
about it for a second.
Hold on. If like retirement is in reach, like we're saying like within 5 years I'm about to retire, sign me up.
That sounds like a horrible idea because then you're not gonna be able to enjoy retirement.
Well, no, because if something goes wrong, maybe I'll get workman's like comp and then just be set, or get like disability. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
depends
man.
on what. Because like here's something that could happen.
But our
Before I
world's
get
gonna end
no,
anyways.
listen,
Like everything's
listen,
going to shit. So
listen. Before I get back to GLaDOS in my kitchen,
yeah,
and for one, I would definitely name it GLaDOS.
that's original.
I've seen phones explode. The Note 7 came out and
Yeah,
it
people
blew
forget.
up. It blew up, right? Like
Yeah.
it lit cars on fire, people's pants got
Couldn't
scalded
board a
into
plane
their
if you had it.
yes. You're about to put something like that in your body. Now they got better testing for it, right? But like, how
But we
we
work
have
at
our
QA.
off
We
days.
know.
You know how we have our off days. What happens if that QA guy didn't get a lot of sleep? He was up all night playing Genshin Impact. He gets into work and he's like, you know what? Pass it. And then like now people's faces are exploding. I'm good. All right. Like even all
Okay.
right.
Hold
Don't be
on.
an early adopter. That's my only like warning. Do not be an early adopter.
Okay, but you're willing to bring in some AI robot to come in and handle your knives, forks, very sharp things, and do the dishes for you.
Now, here's my rebuttal on that because I said I would get back to it. She's tethered to the ceiling. She ain't going nowhere like they are in iRobot, right?
Not yet.
Second of all, they showed how dumb it is, and like you literally have to train it for like weeks in VR to know things. And if you don't train it to pick up certain types of objects, it's not gonna do it. So if I just were like, all right, I'm a little paranoid, I don't want to pick up knives. Don't pick up the knives. I mean, I'm also playing devil's advocate because like think about how stupid expensive this would be and how unworth it would be. Like I'll just do my
And
dang
it's
dishes.
also not for you, which is another thing. It's for like
I
people with
know,
disabilities.
but it's just funny because the first thing they said to people in the article was like, yeah, it's not for what you think. It's not a complete autonomous replacement. It's just for assistance.
Yeah.
But like the funny thing is a lot of the people that might have the assistance might be the older generation. How are they going to know how to work this thing?
Yeah, go into this VR chat, Grandpa. What?
Yeah.
Go into
Like
VR,
they put
train your
VR on
robot.
and it hurts their eyes on sight cuz it hurts my eyes after 15 minutes.
But here's another thing. So it's obviously connected to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know,
Well,
if anything with the wireless signal
can be
and it's connected to the internet, can be hacked.
and you want to put it in your body.
I'm just saying.
I just, it's just gonna be
No.
an inside joke I throw in every so often.
I don't want to put everything in my body.
I would hope not. But all right, moving on.
Anyways, I'm just saying. I think it's equivalent that it's kind of funny that like you're cool with having a robot in your ceiling, and yeah, I'm cool with cybernetics. So like, I think it's both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a risk for all technology, and I don't know. Like, it's the same thing where it's kind of like it's hackable, but why would you do it? Like, in the instance that I have a robot in my kitchen, who's really gonna come know that I
Dude,
have it in my kitchen and mess with me? Like the same way that like a lot of people worry about smart home things. And it's like the only thing that concerns me about smart home things is cameras in the home. Like, why would I really need that? But for lighting, okay, somebody hacked my lights. Now I'm having a strobe party. Like, cool.
okay, but let's not forget the Disney classic movie Smart House.
That's a movie?
Yeah, don't you remember that? Like, maybe it wasn't Smart House, maybe it was like Smart Mom or something. But like, the house had AI technology, and like,
Well, I didn't say put AI in it. Like, but
okay,
technically Google is in my house and that's AI. So, sometimes she gets really wordy. Like, I'll be talking, I'll tell her to set a timer, and then she's like, by the way, you could do this. And I'm like, girl, calm it. I didn't ask. Like, don't girl conscious on me now. And then like I've had a bad dream about it before where like she freaked me the fuck out and I was like, yeah, I don't know about her now.
well, but like that mic's always live. Like that's the thing. Because it has to have the
Well,
mic on
yeah.
to hear you say Alexa, like
Yeah. Well, I think I trust Google more than Alexa, even though they're probably the same risk.
isn't that weird? How
It
like you can
no,
just get comfortable with a company and you're like, it's probably okay.
yeah, but not even that. Like sometimes Alexa's tripping. Like she has a sassy name. Like I don't trust her. Google's just Google.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But then you got Siri through the HomePod, but like I ain't buying that piece of crap. Like I'll just talk to her on my phone. Siri honestly is probably the most easy to talk to. I'm not gonna lie. Like Google is good, but like I like how you can like change Siri's
What?
voices and it sounds pretty natural. Like when I talk to Google, like sometimes she sounds like really forced, but she still
Are
does
you
all the
just
same things. No, I'm talking about forced in comparison. Like
okay?
sometimes I'll speak to Siri and it'll be so conversational that I don't really like until I go back to Google. I'm like, oh, like there's a difference.
I might have a super unpopular opinion. I don't use any of these. Like, I don't use the voice command shit for anything. Even though I have access to it, I just don't fuck with it.
I wouldn't say that's unpopular. A lot of people don't. Like a lot of people just keep it off. But I
Yeah.
use it in the sense that like sometimes it'll be faster to set something up with her. Like you know how like you go to set a timer and you have to like literally go manually slide every dial. Like if I just say, "Hey Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes," it'll be like, "Okay, set," and it's like, "All right, cool." And then like when I'm driving, I need it on for CarPlay because then like I talk to her like, "Hey, send a message to so and so." So like it's useful for
Oh,
me.
you don't text and drive? How lame.
Oh yeah, right. But please don't text and drive, kids.
No, don't
Anyway,
text and drive.
yeah, I don't know. I just think
Kids.
that Siri sounds kind of natural sometimes, but they're all AI and they're still learning, and it's not perfect. So
Yeah, they're like
don't want to
toddlers.
put my foot in my mouth. Speaking of foot in the mouth, I the funniest funniest like statement of that I heard recently. Like a dev at work was just talking to me about like a scenario and then like he ate his words, but then like we already like knew where it was going. So he goes, yeah, foot mouth. I was dying. I like it was just the delivery was more funny than the situation. I
Who
was
was
like,
the
nice.
first person? Like, I always with phrases like that, I'm like, who was just like the first person to just test the waters with that? And everyone was like, oh, I get it. Or were they like, oh, okay.
I don't know, because babies put their feet in their mouth literally all the time.
Oh yeah, isn't it like a hand or like foot and mouth disease or something like that? Or
Hand, foot,
something.
mouth. I don't know. Yeah, because they can like walk on nasty areas, put it in their mouth or something.
That
Man.
is also weird, like how people like with toddlers, like, oh, I just want to eat your feet. I'm like, what do you mean eat? Like, calm down. Like, what's with what's with like that being like
He goes,
associated to being cute? Oh, it's just edible. Like, oh, it's so cute. I can just eat your little feet. Like, oh, that's weird. Why do we do that? And sure enough, like I'm sure like I'll probably be ugly and say that statement or something, but it's weird.
I mean, yeah, like I'm not putting feet anywhere in my mouth, but like I don't know. Like people are obsessed with cute things and like you know how like they're always like, "Oh, you're so cute. I want to gobble you up." Well, like babies' feet are kind of cute because they're just like little pudgy nuggets. So people are just kind of like, "I want to eat them feet."
And why is that? And if it's miniature, it's automatically cute.
Yeah. Well, like you know what's
'Cause
funny when they made Pokemon that I forget the name of the water starter, but it was
Squirtle,
like what?
Squirtle.
No, 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 not not from the OG ones, like the
Oh,
recent one. I guess I didn't specify. When they made,
Maduck or
Sword and Shield, but then, like, what was the name of the Pokemon?
oh, you're
S
talking
s
about
Not Froakie, that was another one, it's like that little tadpole looking thing.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, like, they said that they designed him around this concept in, like, Japan where something is ugly cute. So where it's, like,
So me.
small. I didn't want to say it. But it's like small, but like kind of ugly, but you think it's cute because of its ugliness. And like that described to a T the Pokemon. But like I think that applies to a lot of shit.
Well, I was talking to somebody about it was really random. We talked about Jack in the Box, the
Mhm.
restaurant chain, and they apparently came. I didn't know they had tacos. First of all, like what do they like? What is their food type? But they have a hamburgers and tacos, and they made where you can buy like a party pack of tacos, but were miniature, like chips almost.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Oh, that's kind of cute," and I'm like, "But it's a taco." And it's just because it's mini. It's like, oh, it's. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know what
know.
it is about mini being tied to cute.
Just immediately.
Yeah. And that stems into video games too, because like they'll be doing that for like, you know, like chibi, like that's like a style of art where it's like these tiny little smudgy big headed art style. But then like they got like full on weave stuff with the anime that people think is cute. And like that's come to full force with this new game, Genshin Impact, that
Yeah,
I'm high key tempted to play. Like, and not for the reasons you might think, because it is a gotcha game spelled
yeah.
GACHA, not gotcha as in like got you, but
Well, it's got you.
yeah, so like a double meaning, I guess. But like this kind of game it's basically just thrives on loot boxes, and I mean you're like grown and like all that crap. But like this is the sort of game where I'm not intrigued at all because of that. It's the combat and the what they do here is very interesting. So you know how you have party management games and you really like those kind of games, right? Like you want to be able to like put your party together and like do synergies and like build them up. This game doesn't do it in the sense where you like do it at the same time at all. Like you'll be fighting and then you just on the fly like sub in a new character. So like it'll just like replace. And
I don't
then
like that.
okay, fair enough. But I haven't even gotten to the rest of the gimmick.
No,
So
I'm
then
off it. Like, no, I'm just
all
kidding.
right, moving on. You don't like weeb stuff anyway. I don't either, but I'm not weeb hostile. You know how some people see it and they're just like immediately like throw up? It's like, all right, relax. Like
Well, unless it's Persona.
well, like there are some ones that are more respectable than others, and there's ones that are just fan service. So like I can understand the apprehension. But like this game has a balance, I guess. But I've been
Okay,
watching
sorry.
streamers play it and it's
Continue.
funny.
Sorry.
But the combat has 6 elements. I don't know them all. I haven't done like a ton of research on it. I've just kind of gathered this through watching streams. And you'll basically be able to put synergies between those elements by swapping characters because each character has like their own element and their own type of weapon assigned to them. So then when you are like, I have fire and water, you might throw some fire out, but then switch to your water character and then make like steam from that. And that'll affect certain different kinds of things. And then
Is it turn base?
no, it's all real-time combat. Enemies
Hmm.
can take advantage of your elements too with their own. So if you're using fire, well, actually, this is a better example. If you're using water and the enemy is ice, if you throw water, they can freeze you. So like you need to be careful with what you choose to use because it can like affect you detrimentally and it also affect yourself. So you got to be careful where you put things. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like I've never played a game that does that, so I want to give it a shot. I don't want to put any money into this, and I watch a lot of streamers be like, oh, they're not getting a penny from me. $200 later. So like I'm definitely not trying to do that. I don't like because this game is extremely grindy and you like they say that like late game that you most likely will want to pay because of how long it takes, but like the first 20 hours is fun. And I'm like, hey, I usually give up on games after 20 hours, so sign me
How
up.
much is it?
Free. See, that's the
Okay.
kicker. That's the only
All
reason why
right,
I'm
so we
saying I want
booting
to
it
try
up tonight.
it. If you want to play tomorrow, this game takes like 8 hours to download because it's on a Chinese server. It's a
Oh yeah,
Chinese
hard pass.
developer.
I'm good.
Chinese
No, that's
developer, MiHoYo. But the only reason why it's taking so long right now is because so many people want to play it. Like the demand for this game right now is insane. And like the cool part is too, it's not just on PC and PS4, it's also on mobile, but the progress transfers. So it's not like you choose which one you want. It's like them trying to play into the fact that like, oh, the Switch is popular. You could try to do that. And like, xCloud is a thing, Stadia, that works. Um, but I wouldn't personally do that, but I think it's cool that they have that option. But
see, you reeled me back in with like the element stuff, and then I'm just full off the hook as soon as you. Well, no, you almost had me up in the boat. Like you were reeling me free to play. I was like, ooh, okay,
uh-huh.
that's solid. And then Chinese servers, I'm like, yeah, no, hard pass. I'm out of there.
But like the only thing is this game isn't PvP at all. It's only co-op. So like
Oh
you
shit! Now I'm back in it a little
exactly see
bit.
I know how to get you back. Now the thing too is because there's no PvP, there's no pay to win. You can pay to be better, faster, but you could choose to do whatever at your own pace. So like that's where it's like we could hop in, we could play together, and it would just be like a fun time. And then it's like, okay, now I'm starting to get bored because it's too grindy. It's like, all right, we'll just take a break.
And
And
at least with this game, it's free. So like, I mean, I hate to throw it out there, but Gunfight Reborn. Let's, I mean,
I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna come back to it. I mean I know I said about a lot of things, but in that sense, like it's a roguelite, so like you'll just come back, give it some time, like play it occasionally. But like
yeah,
the fact that I've been trying to like clear my backlog hasn't been helpful for those kind of games that you play occasionally. But
yeah.
the funny thing is how much this game has influenced from Breath of the Wild. They're calling this game Breath of the Waifu. Because it legit like some of the animations are the same. Some of the sound effects almost sound the same. Like the UI almost looks the same in some areas. And then like you have stamina and you can climb things in the same manner. But then like the whole joke when you watch is everybody's like, "Oh, it's exactly like Breath of the Wild." And then something will happen, like the streamer will defend it like, "No, it's not." And then something will happen that's like cookie cutter Breath of the Wild. And he goes, "It's not like Breath of the Wild, by the way." So like it's just people are embracing it. It's Breath of the Waifu. And the developer actually had to come out and be like, "Guys, like, yeah, we understand like we took a lot of inspiration from it, but like actually playing the game is so much different." And I believe that part because you don't do that sort of elemental balance thing where you have to learn 6 different elements and their synergies and it
Yeah,
carries across the whole world. So I'm willing to try it for that gimmick, but I got to beat The Witcher 3 first. So we'll try
fair
it out.
enough.
We'll try it
We'll
out.
try.
I'm going to
Yeah,
let you
yeah.
know when The Witcher 3 is coming to a close. And I'm going to tell you to download it. It's going to be ready tomorrow. Then we'll play it.
Bet.
There it is. Facts.
Boom. You heard it here first, folks.
So we got 2 things left we could talk about. We got the Pixel 5 that released.
No,
And no,
not
just
move on.
we're done.
Yeah,
Wow, you're a Pixel fanboy, aren't you?
yeah, but like, I'll get it. It's fine.
Oh man, I love it.
I
He's
mean,
just like it's expected.
here's my problem with phones. Like, we're at the point where it's like, yeah, we got a little bit better than last year. buy our new phone. Here's a couple things we improved. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I
and
get it.
we're at a point where it's just like, what unless it gets to a dramatic shift. You remember when like they were like so happy about the foldable smartphone, and then that just fell off the radar. No one gives a shit anymore about that.
Yeah.
Like we're just waiting for the next thing that's like they're trying to
Yeah.
predict what we want, and until it's like the fact that we don't need a phone in our hands anymore, and it's just part of our glasses or something.
Well, I think that's also why they like kind of like have gone back to basics. Like the iPhone SE generation 2 was a big like step backwards in a good way. Like we're not going to do crazy shit. And same with the Pixel 4a and even the Pixel 5 for only $700, you're getting like all their pro specs. So it's like
Yeah,
I think like that taking a step back while the other people do crazy stuff and figure their stuff out and then come back with like okay, the phone folds but it's not garbage.
they're playing hot potato. They're waiting for somebody to make the step, and they're waiting to see how it turns out, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do it better though. Like, good job, but we'll do it better now."
Yeah. And then the
So
other piece of news is I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, but I've never been a Minecraft guy. Steve, the main character of Minecraft, is now the next Smash character in the DLC.
it's such an L that I was immediately frustrated, even though I haven't booted up Smash Bros. In
That's
like
what I was
over.
like, bro. You don't even play and you don't plan to buy this DLC. Why are you upset? And you're like, I guess.
Yeah, like there's no reason, but the reason I'm mad is because this is the second Microsoft IP that they've acquired, and they're just
True.
skipping Halo. They're just skipping the
True.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Like
They're
there's
skipping
no
this
reason
part.
there's no reason Master Chief wouldn't have been this pick. If you're gonna go for a Microsoft IP, which is Minecraft, why?
Here's my only thing I think, but it is a little bit disproved by another one that I'll mention. Halo is an M-rated video game that is a first-person shooter when a lot of Nintendo games aren't in that realm. You know, they're family friendly. But then they do have like Solid Snake in there, which in comparison from when they had him in there, the game is a lot less like violent than Halo can be, even though Halo is really colorful and like not very bloody sometimes. But
Yeah,
then like Persona, like they put Joker in there. He's in a game that has like
that game's
weird
messed up.
images and like other like a penis monster. So like I straight up like it is weird, but I don't know if they're holding out from that because like people were like, "Oh, put Kratos in the game," and I'm like, "Who? Why? Why would you do that?" Like that that is the worst possible choice for a kid like game.
Well, and my thing is, most kids know who Master Chief is. It's
True.
like that when people are like, "Oh, well, Minecraft's pretty popular." I'm like, that doesn't like excuse like this like potential. I'm still mad that they didn't do Cuphead. Like that for
Well, see,
sure.
here's where they did Cuphead as a me fighter. Like you would it's just like a skin over the top, which is it sucks. Like cuz it's definitely an opportunity for it, but like when you think about Cuphead's attacks, it's really not that different from other fighters. So like it just made sense to skin it over the me fighter. But
Yeah, and I've heard the argument that Master Chief would pretty much just be a reskin of Snake, and I'm like,
true.
okay, I can kind of see
But
that
if you just
argument.
give him the energy sword though.
That's what I'm
Dude,
saying. Like,
they should make him a little bit more like Byleth from Fire Emblem, where he has the gravity hammer and the energy sword, and then he has his gun. And then like depending on which ability you do, he brings out the weapon. So like he ground slashes with the uh gravity hammer, but then like he does his lunge with the sword.
bro, or they could go the Pokemon champ route, where it's like you can be Master Chief, or you could be the Covenant, and you could switch in and out. And when you're the
I
Covenant,
mean,
you have the
like
sword.
it's too easy to design this, but like Nintendo's gonna do weird shit, so like don't expect anything cool.
Dude, I bet they like come out and it's like from Microsoft's latest, like where they're all shrunken kids. That's probably the next Me Fighter or whatever.
Wait, you talking about Animal
Uh,
Crossing?
no, but please don't make Animal Crossing into.
But no, wait, what are you talking about? They're all shrunken kids.
I'm
Is that
talking
a,
about that new RPG that Obsidian did with Microsoft. the where they're all shrunken in the grass.
Oh, Grounded. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant for a second.
So like if that happens, I'm just like, all right, whatever, guys. You guys just clearly don't give a shit
Yeah.
about your fans.
I am just kind of glad that they didn't put an additional like Dragon Quest or Fire Emblem or like uh what did we just say? Like Animal Crossing, because like they've always had characters
Or
like
just
that
put
in there.
Waluigi in the game. Like
For
that would have
oh,
been
dude,
hysterical.
they have to at some point. They're obligated to, because if they don't, it's just complete disrespect towards the guy and the rest of the community. Because the community has been begging for it for years, and they're just like, nah, we're gonna put in every other character but
Oh no,
Waluigi.
they put him in technically as an item.
Yeah, but he gets disrespected when they deconfirmed him as a
Yeah.
character. Like when they showed the gameplay for it way back before we started the podcast, it was like, oh, here's Waluigi as an item, and then he gets booped off the map like he's not in the game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I mean, I just as soon as I saw that, and plus, like, he doesn't even like the Minecraft dude doesn't even look cool. He's never looked cool, and I can't imagine any of his moves being very fun.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
Like,
I'd rather play Duck Hunter than play that character.
I mean, Duck Hunt's fun. I mean, I don't. Some people like him, they swear by him, but I don't really enjoy playing as him because I get my ass whooped. But his moveset's kind of fun. But like, I picture like Minecraft Steve to be more like Mr. Game and Watch, and I hate him
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
because Mr. Game and Watch like blinks across the screen at like 2 frames per second, and he's so hard to hit. But then like Steve, what is he gonna do? Just like shuffle, like waddle across the screen?
They
Like
have to make his movement. It's just so stupid. Like they could have done anything else, honestly. Anything else would have been better. Honestly, at this point, if some more weeb stuff would have been fine. Like I've been like, yeah, whatever. I'm used to it now.
he's like he's like, we're used to it. We just go with it.
Yeah, because it's like a new sword fighter has joined the match. I'm like, who? Where's this guy from? Never mind. I've asked too many questions. I don't know. He's from something. Dragon 55X. Yeah, that guy.
That dude. Well, you know what? I had something, but then the way you reacted to me, all my train of thought went away.
I don't know. You just
I
went,
I
what?
had such a good segue, and it's all gone. Like, subscribe,
Like, subscribe.
yeah, hit the thing. You know what? Expect big changes in the next two 2 weeks.
2 years.
Well, yeah, hopefully in 2 years, man, we'd be like killing it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Notification bell if you really need to be reminded. But yeah.
Yeah, I always say it because like that's like a YouTuber thing to do, but like I've never pressed that button because I'd get
I don't
annoyed.
I'm always on YouTube though. So like
Exactly. So it would get more annoying because the amount of time I spend on it, it
hold
would
up.
just be like
I'm
they're
curious
alive.
now. What's your work from home like? I wake up, these are the first 5 things I do.
Oh, you hit me with the question at the end of the
Yeah.
show. Okay. Usually get up and I'm making some breakfast and I'll throw on like either like Tim the Tatman or Co Carnage because they're usually up early. Sometimes Tim
Mm-hmm.
the Tatman comes on later. Or if none of them are like playing any games that I like, then I go on like Flipboard, which is my news sources, and I just start seeing what's new. And then like while I'm drinking my coffee and like catching up on emails, waiting for Stan, like I'll either be watching those Twitch things or looking at news. So
Man, that's a productive ass morning. Cause see, you're an ease in. I'm a hit the ground running kind of guy where I stay in bed till I gotta be
oh,
on.
don't act like I didn't do that in the first few weeks of work from home, bro. Or
True, true.
first few months. But then like I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna just try getting up a little earlier and then like I'll shower and do all that stuff instead
Dude,
of like waiting.
dude, afternoon showers are clutch now. But here's what I do. Wake up, brush my teeth, coffee. I don't eat breakfast, and then I'll sit in my computer chair, hit the power button on my PC, flip up my MacBook, log on, YouTube's pulled up, and I queue up every video I'm watching for that day. Drink my coffee, start my day.
Fair enough. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not that much different than mine. You just don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, but yours sounded kind of lounge, like yours sounded way more adult than mine. Like I'm just picturing you like going into the kitchen, turning on your TV, watching it. Oh, okay, making coffee.
All right, you want to know the old routine?
Oh, I know the old routine, but yeah, go hit me with it.
All right, it was like, yeah. I mean, that's I'm everybody's probably done that. Like, can't even be embarrassed about it.
Anyways.
We'll catch you in the next one.